Hello and welcome to this edition of the Steelcityman vlog. The vlog today is centred around a group of grandmothers from Lancashire, a northern county of the UK, who are protesting about the fracking industry and the damage that it is believed will be caused to people's health, the environment. Round about 2 o'clock, about an hour ago, if all's gone to plan, they presented a letter to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as a last-ditch attempt to halt the development of fracking for shale oil in the north of England, or indeed anywhere. And let's face it, a lot of the stuff, a lot of the information that is held about the effects of fracking on both human health, animal health and the environment, I believe is being withheld from the general population, simply in pursuit of profit, in pursuit of the good old pound or dollar or wherever you come from. They're actually having a small tea party outside the gates of Buckingham Palace, and they've sent a letter to the Queen inviting her to pop along for a cup of tea and listen to what they've got to say, and they're trying to enlist her support for the sake of the health and future of the grandchildren. And the Queen, being a grandmother, is quite eligible to sit amongst this amazing group of women from Lancashire in the north of England. The letter is in full on my blog at steelcityman.wordpress.com, and it's there for you to peruse, but I'll just give you the bones of it at the moment. First off, the addresser as not Your Royal Highness or Your Majesty, but as to the grandmother Elizabeth, and they do that out of respect for the fact that she is a grandmother herself, she has got grandchildren. They consider that her noblest role and highest obligation is to protect her grandchildren. They've written to her before, or written to her office before, and got no reply, which is quite normal. Royalty don't, they tend not to reply to peons, us peasants, particularly if we're working class peasants. When this permission was sought for fracking around Lancashire and the rest of the north of England, county councillors, the local government of the area, turned it down. They said, no, you can't, we don't want it. But it's gone to government, and the government will say yes. They've actually overturned in the past local government decrees and or laws, bylaws, and they've overturned the bylaws and allowed these companies, mainly American I must admit, to bulldoze their way into our countryside and start fracking for shale gas. They said they're only testing, and they're just drilling test wells. Believe you me, it's not only testing they're doing. These amazing women, grandmothers, decided, or they thought, that it would be easier for them to hold a tea party outside Buck House and invite the Queen just to pop along and have a cup of tea and listen to what they've got to say. They take their obligations, the main one being the protection of the grandchildren, very seriously, and they're assuming that, as she is a human being after all, that she's going to take her obligations to protect her own grandchildren very seriously, and at least listen to what these women have got to say. So on the 27th, which is today, they're going to be outside Buckingham Palace from 2 PM onwards for a tea party, and they've invited the Queen to join them, or simply to send them a message of support or whatever. Most of the women that are attending this tea party will go home later in the day, but a few will stay and hang on, just in case the Queen has been busy and decides to pop along a little later in the day. Forgive the laughter. It's a noble cause and I support them in every which way, and I wish them well in their venture. I personally am very much against fracking for shale gas. The thing that upsets me about it is the researchers paid by the government usually, or the company that's doing the fracking or wants to do the fracking. They explain the process in detail, that chemicals and sand and water are pumped into this bedrock, this shale rock, to release the gas, but nobody's saying what these chemicals are. Any kind of chemical that gets into the water table is going to affect you and me that drink the water, or the cattle that drink the water. Nobody's saying what these chemicals are, and until they do, I'm afraid, me personally, it's a big no-no. It has been, there's a lot of evidence from the American adventure of fracking that it does cause subsidence, minor earthquakes, water tables do get polluted, that's documented, but these fat cats that want the money are denying this and saying we don't know what you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm sorry, a lot of us do. Not me personally, it's just a feeling that I've got, and until I get the evidence otherwise, then I will support these women that's opposing fracking most vehemently. Well, that's the first part of the blog anyway. The second part is bets on whether the Queen will turn up. I'm running a book actually, whether the Queen will or will not turn up, and the odds of her the odds of her turning up are so fantastic, it's unbelievable. If you want to put a bet on about her not turning up, then you're going to have to put thousands upon thousands of pounds on to win a single penny. That's what I feel anyway. They are an amazing group of women, and they're speaking words of wisdom from the heart of a genuine concern for our youth, which is our future. And at the risk of appearing cynical, I can guess the royal response will be zilch, nada, bugger all. The rattle of money and a free bottle of champagne at the Bullington Club will no doubt ease the conscience of the wretched politicians who are waiting to get their palms greased by these oil companies and gas companies. I watched the developments of this issue, especially as the Labour Party at the conference yesterday, in fact, have pledged if they get a majority in the next general election, they will actually ban all kinds of fracking for natural gas. It's going to be interesting to see what this Tory government are going to do in response to that. Well, that's about it for this vlog at the moment, and I suppose, although it's a very noble cause that these grannies are carrying out, believing in, they have a lot of passion and a lot of guts to do what they do. You've probably guessed that I am rather cynical of the position in society of our royal family. They're certainly not for me. I'm an out and out Republican. I don't know, I consider them a drain on our resources, and I don't believe that anybody should be born into such a privileged position. No doubt there's many that can counter-argue that by saying signing papers, official visits, which I class as holidays, are work to the royal family. I'm sorry, it's not my kind of work, and I don't think they're worth the millions that they get. However, that's maybe a story for another vlog and another blog, one which I would expect a lot of criticism from, but there again, that's what debate is all about, and that's what my socialist ideals are founded on, is debate. So there you go. I'll catch you later. I'll try and vlog and blog a little more often. Hope you've enjoyed the content. Bye bye for now.